Hello viewers, today I am going to talk about magic cast animation differences in Final Fantasy VIII. They come in a few different types. There was a video that had been done that proposed a very interesting idea. They basically said that the blue lights were related to allies, and that was the color of allies. And green light, that was related to enemies, and that was the color of enemies in the game. And this was just a gameplay function. Okay? If you want to find that video, it is done by Japanese Games or Masterpieces. It is Final Fantasy VIII, interesting information on the Rinoa Ultimecia hypothesis. But anyhow, it was an interesting idea. But, you know, over time for my channel, I've been doing a lot of work related to Final Fantasy VIII, and I decided to replay the game. And I've been collecting information and footage to share. So I decided to look at this, to look at enemies, just in general. So I found, you know, at least 2 enemies that are using all blue cast animation with all blue sprites. In other words, there's blue and green sprites, and so there are some enemies in Final Fantasy VIII that are using all blue sprites, so that disproves this idea that blue light is the color of enemies. This is the Biggs and Wedge fight that I'm talking about right here. And when you fight Biggs and Wedge, let me see. Which one is it? Okay, this is a different one. When you fight Biggs and Wedge, he has this cast animation, but I want to show you the video of that, if possible. Let me take a look. Okay, first you have the first soldier. I think that's Biggs. He has a green cast. And he uses thunder. And then you have, I think his name is Wedge or something. He's going to use a completely blue cast animation, and he's going to use fire. So there are all green cast animations and all blue cast animations. So, and now we have it up close. So you can see it up close. So that's an all blue cast animation. That is not related to allies. If that was related to allies, we already know these 2 Galbadian soldiers that we fight as a boss on top of the radio tower, they are not our allies. This is pretty, you know, I think that really disproves the idea that the blue light in the cast animation is just something related to allies. It's more complex than that. It's more complicated. So we go here, and we can also see that the boss fight right after that, I believe his name is Everett. The boss's name is Everett or something. They're going to use an all blue cast animation as well. They're going to use thunder as a spell. It's completely all blue. That's the cast animation. So I believe I have a video of that as well. Let me take a look. Okay. Let me see. Okay, this was just me taking a look at the character cast animation. But for Everett, I believe, I mean, as you can see, it's completely blue. It's completely blue. This is not the color of ally magic. It's not. Now, let me take a look at character cast magic. Now, when you cast your magic as a character, you're using Guardian Force as a junction. You're using Guardian Forces. Your junction to Guardian Forces. Your cast animation is different than characters that are not using paramagic or essentially, you know, junction to a Guardian Force. So essentially, when you see this cast animation, to be very specific, when you see blue and green, that particular cast animation is related to Cypher, Raijin, Fujin, all of the characters that you have. Who else? That is related to Adia, Sorceress Adia. She has Alexander, so you would think she's junction to Alexander. You have Ultimecia. For many of us who believe that Rinoa is Ultimecia, for those of you who thought what I said is crazy, because there are so many negative people who think negatively about that idea. Yoshinori Kitase has retracted his statement that Rinoa is not Ultimecia. He has said that he does not know because there were 3 writers, and he cannot say because he does not know if that was a particular element of the story. He cannot say if that's a particular mystery in it. But anyhow, if Ultimecia's junction to Griever, that would explain why her cast animation is blue and green. Anyone who was at the garden, Fujin, Raijin, Cypher, obviously it's common sense they have guardian forces. You can even draw a guardian force from Fujin, called Pandemona. So it makes plenty of sense why Raijin and Fujin both have a guardian force cast animation. It really does. Now, in regard to monsters like Everett or Norg, for example, it makes sense they would not have the capability to use paramagic, or they would not be familiar with the methods of Dr. Odin, or they're just not a sorceress and they just cannot really do that. That makes plenty of sense. It really does. So, this was sort of a mystery that many people had thought about. I personally think, I think it's already proven that this is sort of a Guardian Force, cast animation. The blue lights are not, ally lights, and the green lights are not enemy lights. Basically. That is what I found. So I do plan to talk about some different, subjects related to magic in the game, but I did want to review this. I basically have a whole guide I'm going to be coming out with. It's going to have all types of information, highlights and everything. It's going to have to do with symbolism and all types of things. I'm still working on it. It's going to take me a while to, really make a video where I kind of present the information about some more deep things. And I'm planning to do that as soon as I can, but I really want to make sure I'm organized so that when I do my next Final Fantasy VIII video, I will have everything ready, because I am going to have to cite a lot of information, basically. I have all types of, things related to symbolism in the game, narrative logic, concepts like guardian force, possession, amnesia, the idea of the world's enemy that Rinoa is, that Squall is talking about. Who is the world's enemy? To me, that's Ultimecia. But anyhow, Squall saying, even if Ultimecia ends up as the world's enemy, I'll be your knight. Personally, I think the knight is Griever in a sense, or at least what's left of Squall, if Rinoa lives into the future. But anyhow, I have a lot of things to talk about, things to elaborate upon. It's going to be big. I'm really happy that I've had so many people basically be interested in these Final Fantasy VIII videos. Anyhow, I would like to say, may you be blessed, and farewell, viewers.